Hello, everyone. I'm very excited to discuss with you Linux Fedora 39. It is built version 6.5.6. The kernel release is 6.5.6, and it is on x86 64-bit operating system. And also, it's a workstation, and the Linux Fedora 39 workstation. This was a request that someone nicely put that if I just make a Linux Fedora documentation and technical discussion, a lot of people will be interested on that one because some of my videos we were discussing Linux Ubuntu, Solaris, Red Hat, and then also Rocky release CentOS. However, the version of the Red Hat and CentOS and Rocky are all Fedora distribution. So that is the same as Fedora. And then the workstation and that I'm going to be discussing today is the Linux Fedora 39, or you call it the desktop or workstation. But the application, the software that you install on it, it could be a workstation. And if you want to just make it a server, you could install the daemons or server related processes or packages. And then after that one, when you run those processes as a daemon and they listen to a port, and then now you have a server. So to get started, I want to show you what I already have on a virtual machine. And as you can see, I have a number of Fedora and then Linux and Red Hat and Rocky. As you can see here, this is Red Hat. This is also Red Hat. This is Linux Mint. And this is Linux Rocky. And this is MyWebUniversity at Ubuntu. This is Rocky 9, Rocky 9.2, Solaris 11.4, Ubuntu 22, Ubuntu 23.10. This is 2204, and then Fedora Linux 39. This one is already up and running on my machine, which I'm going to demo when we get started on the installation for you. So the installation doesn't get boring while we're waiting for the installation. I could show you the current running version, which is this one, and then I'll demo that one. But at the same time, I want to just make sure that you are going to our site for MyWebUniversity.com YouTube channel or MyWebUniversity YouTube channel. And this is all the videos that I have already posted. If you look at this one under home, I have more than 1,200 videos. A lot of it is in the subject of computer science and IT related courses. So you're welcome to learn from it, whether it's programming, operating system, database, networking, Apache web server, Bash scripting, Python scripting, C++, Windows operating system, PowerShell, anything you can name it, I have covered within those 1.2K of videos. At the same time, for the ones that are interested in learning the Red Hat Linux, you can see this playlist. I have shell scripting, as well as the direct path to Linux Ubuntu, as well as Python programming and Windows and everything. What I want to just make sure that you can find on my site is if you go to, for example, the direct path to shell scripting or the direct path to Linux, the playlist has a cover of this one, say the Linux Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9 virtual machine full course from 0 to hero. A lot of people have liked it. A lot of people make nice comments. That video is about 4 hours. But on top of that one, I have Rocky Linux, I have Red Hat, and there's some system administration related courses and everything. So you're welcome to watch them and enjoy them and make some nice comments so I can help you. And I also want to make a comment on a couple of users. They mentioned, well, either on this video or that video, they say that the sound was not as good. I think it might have been the client side, because if it is, more than 1 or 2 people, then I can definitely look at the sounds to see what area, but you need to just give me a little bit more than just sound is maybe it need to be improved. So I know what is the area, what part of the sound you're not hearing it or you're hearing it, what I need to improve on. If you could help me with that one, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for your comments. But just to say that the sound is bad or some sound is not improved, I don't know what to improve because I can hear it well, and then a lot of other people make comments that we can hear it. So with that, let's just get started with today's session. And I'm going to go to here on the virtualization. You can see the Fedora project.org. You can go on this Fedora project.org, and then the workstation, you see this title, say virtualization made easy. I'm going to show you how virtualization is made easy by installing Fedora workstation from this download. So you can see here on the Fedora page under downloads, you have the workstation or desktop, and there's a lot of buttons here to press, but I've already saved the time and downloaded the Fedora distribution from this site here. You can see download Fedora Workstation 39, and they have it for x64 for Windows, for Mac, and for Linux for download it. And then you can see the one that I downloaded for Mac and for Intel. I'm sorry, for Intel AMD processor. Mine is Intel processor. You have to know your processor, and you have to know the operating system version. So mine is x86-64, and I can reveal that information from command prompt here. See that one, if I just say system info and find a string /i and then model, the model is going to reveal the processor and then the architecture. It is Intel 64-bit. So that's all I need to know, that information. And then I'm running it on a host operating system of Windows, and I'm running, if I just close this one, as you can see on the virtual box, this is the software that Oracle provides. It's called VirtualBox. On the VMware, and VMware also provided on the Windows side, as well as VirtualBox and VMware is both provided, the software are provided on Mac, Linux, and Windows platform. So you can do virtualization, and you can create VMs, virtual machines, which are these virtual machines that I have created. One of them today we are going to do is Fedora Linux 39 workstation. So with that in mind, VirtualBox is also free to download and install it. For VMware, you have to pay a little bit. If you're just doing it for download and using it for development, it's free. But if you have to do one support for both of them, you have to pay. And so let's get started with the Linux afterward on this one. But at this time, I'm going to show you the download directory here that I've already downloaded the Fedora Workstation Linux Ubuntu. It's about 2 gigabyte in size. If I click on the properties, you can see it's about 2 gigabyte in size, and then right here is that information. So I'm going to just I can also go to the command prompt and show you on the command prompt the size to make sure that we are getting that one downloads, and then directory start Fedora. And start Fedora workstation is about 2 gig, 2.1 gig in size. So that is that, and then I'm going to, the download directory is already here. So I just have the file already downloaded. I'm going to, let's see if I can just move the zoom out here so I can see this file manager, and I click on X. I can minimize here, and then this window is okay, but I want to just go back to my virtual machine. But on the virtual machine, I want to come back to this one that is already up and running. From here, you can see this is running. But I want to just start another installation so you know how to install the virtual machine first. And while I'm doing the installation, I'll demo the features of Linux Fedora 39. So with that in mind, let's get to this. I could also, actually, let me shut it down because I think the problem is that I have some resources that I have allocated, maybe 16 gig. I don't want to get a 16 gig for this one when I have all together on my system. Let me look at the memory. So that's important for your virtual machine to not consume all your memory. So this 20 gig is available. I can allocate another 20 gig, but the one in running, I'm going to just change it. So at this video, you should learn how to change the virtual machine. So let me just log in first here. So once you logged on here, you can see the current release of this one. If I go open a terminal here, and then the terminal, as you can see here, there's, and I can do Shift Control Plus, and then it's gonna make it bigger, cut etc Fedora dash release. You can see it is saying that it's a Fedora release 39. And then you can see also that -A for all, uname -R for revision, and uname -M for machine type, or P for platform, which is, and this one, it doesn't say what is the platform, unknown platform. It should be x86 or 64. So let's do the, I could shut down here, shut down -H now, or I could just say, get out of this one. And from here, I could log out to log out gracefully. So I could say log out first. And then after I log out, it's going to come into my user. If I want to log in as Wahid or I log in as another user, I'm going to just say power it off. And so this time I will power it off. This will gracefully shut it down. And then I have the memory reclaimed because I'm not running a process of virtual machine. As you can see here, the memory is already claimed back to 24 gigabyte. So that is very nice to know that whenever you have the memory on the command line, as I showed you on the past videos, I have about 32 gig. So if I say system info and then find /I and grep for memory or mem, that is good enough for memory, it's going to match that string. I have a total of 32 gig, and then I'm using about 24 gigabyte is free. So I'm going to just close this one again, and then this one, I'm going to leave it on the side here for the monitoring the processes. And if you go back here, this is powered off. Since it's powered off, I'm going to change this one from 16 gig. I'm going to change it to 8 gig. So I don't need to allocate everything to that one. So I'm going to say change. I'm going to go to system, and then the memory, I'm going to just make it 8 gig. That's about 8 gig. I could make it like in exact, but doesn't matter. So that is around 8 gig of memory. Then now I can start it off and then just get it up and running. And then at the same time, while this one is up and running, I can spin off another new VM with another 8 gig or 16 gig. But let's just close this notification. And then this one will just come up here with Fedora for a workstation with my login. While that one is coming up, I'm going to just click on this VirtualBox software. This one says running. I'm going to just click on new and then I'm going to spin off another Linux virtual machine. So that's virtualization made easy. While you're working on one virtual machine, you can spin off another one. And by doing that one, you're using multitasking from Windows 11 operating system with multitasking, multi-threading, running all these processes in parallel at the same time and without having any issue on multitasking. So I'm going to call it Fedora. And you can call it Fedora Workstation or Desktop or just Fedora 39 is fine enough to just say this is the version. Whenever there's a newer version, I could just update it, this one, and then I know exactly by just looking at the name. Some people, they don't like to have the name, the version, do it, especially for production. You don't want to just name it so easily guessed by hackers, but at the same time, if somebody just knows your operating system that you're running a Linux, they if they know they're good hackers, they don't have to know this information by just a host name or something. They can hack it if they know what they're doing. It's not an issue of like, oh, the just the version that you expose that is gonna be vulnerable. It's not the case. So here I'm going to just have the Fedora Workstation 39, the 2.1 gig ISO image. And then here, everything else is okay. So as you can see here, the option I have next for the option, everything else is already checked. I'm gonna just allocate about 16 gig. So the installation is gonna go faster or and also the processor, I'm gonna give, instead of 1, I'm gonna give 4 gig. So we wanna just do the processor installation faster. We don't have to wait for it so long. And then here we say disk size, and that disk size is 15 gig by default. I'm gonna give it like maybe 100 gig. 105 is fine. So then the pre-allocated full size, if I just click on it, it's gonna pre-allocate it, but I want it dynamic grow in case if I don't use the space, I don't wanna allocate it, pre-allocate it, is meaning that just allocate it whether you use it or not. That's just, I want it to grow dynamic, so don't check those buttons if you don't want to. And then if on a production machine, you wanna allocate it, you could do that one. So this is next here. And now it's gonna give me this interface, very nice interface that I'm going to be ready to install it, and all the information is selected, it's good. The size of the disk, and I'm going to click on finish. So this one is going to start there when I click on Fedora 39, say start. At this time, this notification comes in. So it says powering virtual machine. And then what I want to do here under view, I want to just use scale mode so you can see it better. And notice that here they have a test this media. I don't want to test the media. I know that ISO image I downloaded is the checksum, everything is successful. So I'm gonna try the installation. You can start the Fedora Live 39. You don't have to install it if you don't want to. But once you test it and you look at it, you say it's good, you can install it on the hard disk, which is the 105 gig that we allocated. At this time, it says mouse integration. That's fine. I'm just going to leave these windows here. And then the notification, sometimes it's like almost like twice, but it gives you some information there. And then also you can see it on the GUI, graphical user interface, what's happening. So you can check it. Right now you can see here that on the background, I have the Fedora distribution. So I'm going to just say install Fedora. And then here it says install Fedora now, or we could just say not now. But I'm gonna just say install. Now notice this one is, this interface is going to go through the installation. At the same time, it's gonna just give me option to do this. Okay, so this flickering is just a Fedora thing. It was not happening with other VM. I'm not sure why it's happening with this. Maybe because I have other ones open. So I'm gonna stop these other ones on the background and make this screen the only screen that it is available here. Yeah. So make sure that the resolution are happening or not happening. Unfortunately, it is happening. So let me just shut down the virtual machine for this one. I'm gonna shut it down that way. Nothing is refreshing on the resolution. And then I could just click here, say power off, and that would be faster powering off like this. And then now minimize this window, and then the running one, I want to show it. And hopefully this one, this is still flickering. That's a virtual machine of Fedora Workstation, because I didn't have this experience in the past. So let me just click on it, continue. And then a keyboard is English already, and the timestamp is Los Angeles. So I click on the install disk. And now the disk is selected. I'm going to say done. And then this is done, and then now begin installation. While this one is going installation, I'm gonna minimize this window, and then I leave this one in that mode, but then I'm going to start off this one also. While I'm starting the new one, the one that is already installed, you can see this booting right now, because it's already installed. And notice that it has Fedora Linux 6.5.6 300. That was the default one, and that it took it already. Now it's going through mouse integration. And Fedora is booting at this time. Fedora Linux, and then I have a Wahid as a user. I also have not listed. So if I want to log in as root or some other user, then I can type in that one. If I create more account, more account will be listed here. And these other buttons are there for powering off, connecting to the network, and other ones, as you know, for virtual machine. This under this workstation, you have options of GNOME. You have a GNOME Classics, GNOME Classic on Xorg, GNOME on Xorg. Whichever one you like, you can just start checking on it. If you like the GNOME Classic or a GNOME Classic on Xorg, you can select that one. But I just want to go at this time by default one, and then on a later video, I'll demo each one of them when I cover Fedora in a full video, like a full class or full course from zero to hero. So watch for that course also. That's gonna come next. I'm going to do that one in details, because just installing software and not using it extensively, it's not gonna be helping you. You wanna just install software to take advantage of it and use it. So at this time, this is a system I've already built. As you can see here on activity, I have this activity bar here that whenever I click on it, it just shows me a clean screen, and then it's going to show me Firefox and then calendar. It's a nice calendars that you can just look at the calendars, and then by week or by month. So today is Friday 26. Currently is 1/26, 2024 at 9:14 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Today was my day off, and then I'm just here to serve you. I'm going to close this one, and then I'm also going to show you on this activity, there's more button. Like we looked at the calendar, you could look at file manager. So file managers like this Explorer version of Windows is here is on the Linux side on Fedora. And both Linux Fedora as well as Linux Rocky, CentOS, and Red Hat all have the same sort of file manager, same sort of package manager, which are called YUM, Yellow Dog Update Manager, and DNF and DNF3. I will show you those details also there. So You can look at the directories if you want to go to downloads. If I have anything on any of these directories, I could create the files and directory by, let's say, on documents, and I can right click here, say new folder, and create a new folder, say Wahid, and then just create it, or just right click and say delete or cat, move it to trash. You could just do that one. From command line, you could do these things on the file manager. From the Go, you can do that one. So Unix and Linux are user friendly, and but they both choose their best friends. You have to learn them, and then if you learn the command lines, you're going to be their best friend. So here are the list of software that are available for you, but there's a big list of software. You can see that is for each of the browser, for example, Operator, Chromium, Firefox, so many things are available for you. And then Mozilla, and then for like, for example, creativity, if you click on it, what are the packages that you can do for creativity? And this list, because it's so huge, it takes a while to refresh it. And once it refreshes, you can see a list of them here. And then at the same time, you could do on work, and then whatever software is available. The first time, again, whenever you click on it, the refresh rate for this one depends on the packages that are available. And there's a number of packages here that you could just get them and then look at them. Nice. There's so many of them. I don't want to even read one by one because there's so many of them. You can see the list of packages that are available for you. Okay, so this is for that. And then for play, if you're playing games, you have a list of packages that are available. Obviously, I'm not a game person, but most of you guys are, especially the young people, that they are into games a lot, and then you're welcome to play all these games on Linux Fedora. And because it's a workstation, it's like your desktop or a laptop or Windows operating system that you can do the same gaming for free. And then obviously for learn and development. So for learn, if you want to just learn some stuff, there's a lot of software that is available for you to install and practice with them, depending on what you want to do. And then even like the Holy Quran companion, there's a Holy Bible, Holy Quran, everything on these learning things, they just make it available, dictionaries and everything. So you're welcome to watch them. Look at that one, Fraction Bounce, for a game about soccer. So this is a learn. And then under development, there's a lot of the tools for developers. And then for developers, usually you have a lot of IDEs and integrated development environment. You can see some of them are there, like PyCharm, and then Visual Studio Code, and you name it, GitHub, and all that things are here. So you're welcome to watch on those ones and learn from them. And then the socialize, this is software that you can use for YouTube, for LinkedIn, for Mozilla, Firefox, anything that you can use to connect to some social media. And there's a lot of them, including messengers, software that you are using with your laptop and everything. And there's software for chemistry majors and anything that you want to do. So there's so many things you can just be busy for years. And then at the same time, right here, if you click on this software show apps, this is all list of apps that are available. So for each one of them, like contacts, you have it for Fedora Media, right? And then weather channels, clocks, maps, LibreOffice. LibreOffice is like Microsoft Office, but it is freeware or open source free. LibreOffice Impress for like PowerPoint type things, video of OS calculator, document scan, and then LibreOffice Write for Microsoft Office Write version of it. Settings, if you want to change your settings, system monitor, boxes, terminals, utilities. Under utilities, there's a lot of utility for disk usage, connection, and everything that all of these document viewers, image viewers, and characters. But this is, again, is gonna just have the screen refresh at one point when you click on it, and then it's gonna show you that one, whichever one you do. At this time, let me just open a terminal. So right here, if I click on a terminal, and then on the terminal, you have option to open multiple terminals or just work on one, and then you have option to resize this one to whatever you want, and then just extend it or do Shift Control plus and then make it bigger here. So if I just say cat etc Fedora dash release, you can see it is 39. Uname dash R is a revision or build number, 6.5.6 is the kernel. So if I wanted to get more detail, I could say cat etc os dash release. And then that would just give you more information. But obviously, that's a lot of information, so I have to just do a pipe more in order to do this one. Because if I just do this one with the size that I open with -n to show me the line number, then I could type in 5 more. You can see on the first line it says Fedora Linux, and then the release version of Fedis 9. The ID number is Fedora, and then code name is Fedora 39. It is for that platform. So you can see all the details here with the document URL where you could get the documents. If you open the this one, then obviously Firefox will open. As I just control click on control and then click on it, it opens that Fedora page not found, but one of those pages or somewhere there. I just have to make sure that I'm going on the right page, user documentation and all that thing, but with Fedora, okay? So let me close this one. You can also open up Firefox here, Firefox, just to open it like that, and then since it's going to the main project, Fedora there.org, I could just also go on Fedora.org project where we went to the download there. So if I just close that one, I could also run the command here, say RPM -QA. And that since it's like Red Hat kind of package manager is installed on it, I could say just run the RPM -QA, and it will list all of them. Now, if I do a word count on it, that's 1,927 27 packages, as you can see here, the listing. And then if I just say, show me all of them with word Fedora, the string Fedora, and then you can see here. And if I just say how many of them were there, I can do a word count, 16 of them. And then you can see that the logos, and then there's so many of them, I don't want to read them again. So yum list also show you all the packages that is installed. The older version of Red Hat and CentOS and Rocky and Fedora was using Yellow Dot Update Manager, and starting at version 7 and 8 and 9, they just use, actually starting at 8, version 8 of CentOS and Rocky and Red Hat. They just made a symbolic link from yum to point to DNF-3. DNF-3 is a Python program, and both yum and DNF is now symbolic linked to DNF-3, and that will just show you this list is so huge and it's taking a while to just generate it. And notice that it's running for a little bit. And then if I just now do the same thing with word count minus L, and then it will just count it because of it's 74,000. That's a lot, right? So when I say yellow dog update manager, and if I just say what is yum, you could see that it is a redirect to DNF command reference. So what does that mean? It says that file, if I say which yum, yellow dog update manager is symbolic link to DNF-3. And then if I say which DNF, DNF is also symbolic link to that DNF-3. So file user bin DNF, that is also symbolic link to DNF-3. But DNF-3 is a Python a script. You can see that one. And the content of that one is basically, if I do a word count on it, it's about 62 lines of Python scripts. And if I look at the content of that one with a whiteboard, you can see that it makes a lot of system packages calls for the sys and path and all that one in order to do this installation of packages with DNF. So DNF itself, since it's symbolic link to DNF-3, the DNF also has a lot of commands that whatever you could type in here with yum, or you type in with DNF or DNF-3, all of them would be calling DNF-3. So DNF list also give you the same list of packages here, and then it is a little bit faster. There's another version of DNF-5, version 5, that is built with Fedora, that I'm going to also test it later on when we do the full course. But at this time, we just need to just show you some of these stuff. So DNF list word count minus L. There's a lot of files with, I mean, the list, the 74,000 there, and then DNF repo list will show you all the list of repos, DNF, and then you could do a number of things: install, remove packages, and everything else. So -- help, you could see the list of all the commands that is available, whether you want to disable as a repo or enable a repo, or use subscription manager on Red Hat and stuff. This one is free software, so you don't have to have a subscription. But for Red Hat distribution, you have to have either a development account or a production, or a corporation account. Development is free, and then production, as I mentioned on, corporation, it charges you, as I mentioned on the other video. So on this one, let's get back to the Fedora. And then we do have a number of things that you can do with Fedora here, and then get the details of information, ID, who. So all the Linux commands, we can do it. For example, if I say Python -- version, by default, Python 3.12 is done, installed. So if I say Python, it's going to drop me to Python there. And then everything that you can do on a Linux machine, whether it's Red Hat CentOS or Fedora or Rocky, you can do it with one of these Workstation also. If you have to install software, you can do that also. And then I'm going to exit out of this one, and then go back to, you can do also Python-V also. It tells you the same thing in Python -- version. But notice if I say GCC, and this is a GNU C collection compiler, by default, it does not have it installed. So if I say G++, then it says, well, I did not find G++, but there's a package that I have called GCC C++. Do you want to install it? I say, yeah, that's what I want to install. So I could just say yes, and then it will go ahead through the standard libraries and C++ and C and everything, and it will install it with my current user and password. I don't have to become sudo in order to do it because it's going to do it in my platform. But right now, say which GCC, it already installed GCC. So now if I say that, dash version, dash V, is gonna tell me the version in detail. 5 more, and then you can see it is showing a 13.212 version. And then at the same time, if I say G++ dash V, that's also 13.2. But if I just say, show me only one line, I could do grep -I version, see, oh, there's so many with the version. So I could say something like the GCC followed by the dash dev version. That is still a lot. Somehow it is, okay. In this case, I could just tail the last line. So I could, instead of doing this, let's say tail -1, tail. Okay, the whole thing is one line, it looks like. Let's see if GCC dash dash version. Yeah, GCC dash dash version is short. You can get that one. Similarly, GCC dash dash version, you could get a short version of that one. There. So that information, when I say that this might be one file, like GCC-V, it is there, but I could say GCC-V greater sign, like a file t.text, send it to t.text. T.text did not get created. Let me just say this one, and then you have to write it, say 2 greater sign &1, that's gonna write to the file instead of to the screen. And now t.text is not a 0 byte. So what I said here says run the GCC version, write the output to a file called t.text, but at the same time, whatever is in the standard error and the standard output, write them together onto this file. This syntax is saying that redirect both the standard output and the standard error to the output file, which is t.text in this case. So vim t.text, if vim is not installed, you can see by default it says vim is not installed. VI is installed, but vim is not, so I'm gonna use that one. That's kind of like, well, vim is an improved version of VI. Why would you not upgrade the latest version of Vim when you have VI? Let's see if they have VI. So if I say VI, etc host, yeah, VI is already there. And then you can see the color and everything, which VI, yeah, VI is there, file user Vim, VI. It is a script by itself, so it is not symbolic link to Vim. And then here now I have installed the Vim. So let's see Vim. I'm gonna quit out of this one, clear the screen. So my commands, what I type in, it does not show. When you could do this one, you say tput reset, and then clear screen. Okay, tput reset. It does not set it. So I'm gonna type in echo. No, sorry, not echo. STTY. I cannot see what I'm typing. So I'm going to close this one. A very fast way to do it is I used to set those ones if it was not done with tput reset or tput rmsu and smsu if you're just doing like boldface, and then sttY echo minus or echo off and then echo on. Those ones would do this one. Why it should tell you your system. But now you can see the um, screen already. And so which vim is installed. And then the file that I created was a t.txt. So I say vim t.txt. And then now you can see this file is open, but it looks like it's one file, a line. So if I say set uh, list, it will show the new line character. It's not one line. The last line is really huge. And then this one and the supported version, the end of line is there. So GCC version 13.2. Let me exit out of this one. I want to see what was wrong with the option of GCC-V. It gave you detail. And then if I just say the same thing, and then say grep minus I 13.2. So 13.2 is still, it reports more than one line because it matches this specific character. But let's see if it does the same thing on the text file. Grep minus I 13.2. Minus I doesn't mean anything because it is a number, not a uppercase or lowercase. Notice it just 13.2 it is on this one also. That's why my code was looking at it. So if I want to just exactly get this one, I have to put this more information on the grep command. So let's look at this one. If I, instead of this one, I could say grep GCC version 13.2 from that, then it's going to specifically do that one. So now instead of this grep command, I could type in the GCC-B and then remove the input file text.this and pipe that version information here. It still did that one. Let's see if I say, yeah, it should have just detected that one with the correct information because I'm looking for only for that one, and why is it detecting all this thing when I'm just expecting it this. If I run the same command here from a file, you can see here and then give the input file, and instead of this is say t.text, it just get that information. If I say cat t.text and pipe it to this command here, it will still do the same thing. So, and then if I just do it without that one, like this argument here, all it says is run the command GCC dash version, and then pipe, it only give me this. And then it's not doing that. It's gonna give you more. So that is something to see if the grep command is on Fedora working differently on the output of the file. But if I'm looking for like GCC in general, this one, and then do a pipe more. So let's say I'm looking for only the word target. I should not get everything here. So if I just do this one and say grep target, it still comes in. And notice that if I just do the same thing here with from the input file, t.text. So we just found a bug in Fedora that Fedora developers have to look at it to see what is going on here. Because if I just grab anything from my input file that I generated with using GCC-V greater sign t.text, and then with the output of it written like this, 2 greater sign %1, and you can see the file t.text that just got created. And now if I go and do a target here, I will get that information. But if I just run the same command from GCC version and grep target from it, this is going to give me a lot more information than just target. So developers, please look at that. And then I'm not gonna create a ticket for you, but you're welcome to just look at my video and see, and maybe make a comment, see if I was doing something wrong or something needs to be corrected on the operating system in terms of how the output is parsed and the grep is not working properly. So the grep is working properly if you read it from input file, but the output that is piped from the display is not getting parsed. However, look at this one. If I just have these files and then I say ls minus l grep t.text, that is the output is parsed correctly. That's what I'm expecting for a grep command from output of another command. So if I say Python dash dash version, and I see that one, then if I say grep 3.12, now 3.12 is highlighted in red. That's how it should work. But however, when I do the GCC, the output is not doing it correctly. What about G++? Let's see for G++ dash dash version. G++ dash 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 V, and it's giving me that, and then dash V, and now grep minus I version, it's same thing. So that's something like GCC dash dash version might work differently. Let's see if that one it says grep GCC. Yeah, so the dash V is the issue, but with the dash dash version, it's not. So if I look at the G++, this one also is going to work with the grep command. But let's see if a G++ dash uppercase B is giving me, no, that's not the argument, so I cannot do that one. It's expecting me to write a C or a C++ code to compile it. And we could do that one in the full course, but not on this one. So there's a lot I can show you here, but let's get to the running Fedora, this one that we want to see what's going on with this one. So the installation already completed. I'm going to just say finish installation. And then when you click on finish installation, and then you have this option of like having change the background if you want to change the background for the display, and you could just choose whichever background you want. And then as you are clicking on a background, let's go with this option of darker theme, and then you could just bring it up to maybe this, whatever option you do. Now you change that background. At the same time here, if you just say open a terminal again, and now this installation cat etc Fedora dash release. The flickering, I don't like it, so I'm gonna say exit. Now, if I just click on this option and move my zoom out of here so I can see in the bottom here, and then when I click on here, notice here it says install on hard drive. If you didn't click on this one and you exit out, at this time you just got out of the ISO image there. You have to click on this one to install it. That's very important. So now it's going to actually install it. We tested it. We are going to install it. On Linux Mint, it's a little bit different. It's gonna give you the option of installing it, the one that you want to do, and then so I'm gonna say reclaim, delete all, and then reclaim a space, and then it's gonna go that one, installation, and then begin installation. And then I'll just leave this one to install it. Now it's installing it on the hard disk. Then when it is done, I will have a system like the other one. Because it's flickering, I'm going to close this one so it doesn't bother your eyes. And then here, I'm going to just go on the running one. So when this one is completed, the installation, this one is going to be, this one is already completed. The one that I was doing, it was Fedora 39, this one. This one is basically doing that one. So let's just open this one, and then at this one, if I just click on it, there's more information that I could show you here. But in terms of software update and all of the details. So I'm going to just see if I could do sudo su dash, and then by becoming with sudo privilege, by default, it does give me a sudo privilege. So I could just even change the password of root. So say password root, and then I say update the root password. So later on, I can become a root here. Okay, and then I say password -x -1 root. Now the password of root is not going to expire on me. So if I didn't bring up this machine in 90 days or something, I don't have to worry about, oh, the password expired. Because I have so many development machine here, I'm not gonna just remember to change the password every 90 days on this one when I reboot it occasionally. So I just will set that one with this command, and it is safe for me to just say that I updated the expiration date so it doesn't expire on me. Because this is a development and that's what you want to do. On your production machine, you have to change the password every 90 days to be more secure. But apparently sometimes the security, you don't want to just make your system break because of some security that you're doing so many things every so often, and some people there's so many developers that they are forgetting to set up their system with the right password, and you're not doing it in a methodical way. Everybody is on their own, and that is going to break your system. To maintain it better, you have to do it all synchronized at the same time with some sort of policies and guidelines. So here I am root already, and then I can just run commands and everything. So if I look at the system, this machine is Red Hat Fedora. So I will just say, well, the GCC, we install it, and C install it. And then we already checked that everything else. I could add users, but I don't want to just go too much on this one because of this other one. When it is done, we are going to be done with this video. And then I'm gonna cover a lot more on the video, and that is going to be full video. So all I need to show you is this one. When the other system comes up, you still have to do a system update. So I'm going to do a DNF update here, and then that would be just to make sure that all my packages are up to date. So it's like on Windows, you go Windows update. And this is update, not upgrade. When you do upgrade, it's a major version upgrade from version maybe 39 to something newer, or from Red Hat 8 to 9, that's upgrade. But updating from 8.6 to 8.9, on that is update. So you can also update individual packages like Firefox or Mozilla, or install software, and those ones will be covered on the other one. So this video, I'm going to just update this one, and then see if the other one is going to be done. And now I have only 4 GB available on memory, because I have allocated 16 gig on one and then 8 gig on another one. So all the resources are memory extensive, memory hog, we could call it. And then that's why the installation could go longer. And then all these packages that are getting downloaded and installed also is coming from repository, Red Hat repository or Fedora repository in this case. And it will get installed, and then once it's completed, then I have a full system up and running with the latest update applied for this Fedora 39. So this one is done. I'm going to say finish installation, and then so that installation is completed. At this time, I'm going to just do a shutdown. Obviously, when I bring it up next time, it's going to just say, do you want to just configure it with everything, which is the user and then the account, everything that I did on this one. I'm going to shut down this one first right now, and then also let's see if the other one is still working, and the memory is 3.9 gigs. So I'm going to power off this other one, and the one that I was doing installation, and this Fedora distribution that is 8 gig. It is let's see on the memory, it is 3.8 gig. So it is getting close to my system being bottlenecked at some point, but it could go to swap space, and by shutting down the things that I don't need, I could just release the memory. So just coming back to this Fedora, and this is the Linux Fedora 39 running. I'm going to just look at that one, and I could power off that one and say power off, save the status fine, or just so I could bring it up next time. And then now I power it off. By powering off, sometimes make sure that you're not corrupting any file system while it is doing installation or something. If it did, the machine will not be powering on the next time you do it. And then you have to check what happened. And if it did corrupt file system, you have to correct the file system. We're using file system checker or boot it in single user mode, which I have done a lot for these systems to recover, because from time to time system hangs and you have no other solution but to recover it. So this one is almost done. And then now the disk space, because I shut down this one, it is reclaimed with the memory that I had. It's now 20 gig back. So instead of the 16 gig, I'm going to allocate the Fedora 39 also to 8 gig. So we don't have too much memory issue. As a sysadmin or a senior person, you have to know your resources and you have to react faster and then make adjustment based on your system. And then after that one, now I can spin off it again and say the start. I know my videos are a little bit longer than everybody else doing installation, but I'm covering a lot more than everybody else. And I'm hoping that you learn from them as well as mine, and then you just see what it is best for you. So here we're just, if you go here and start it, it's gonna just go back to original one. Why do you get this screen? I tell you why. So I'm going to just say power off again, and then I'll show you why you're getting that screen. If you go to setting here and then click on the storage, notice this Fedora ISO image is mounted. So you have to right click here, say remove attachment. And then once you remove it, this time, because we installed it on the hard disk, then it's gonna boot it from hard disk. That's what you need to do. It's powering up the virtual machine right now. And right here, you can see it is going to the grab, and then it's gonna just do the Fedora installation, software, the Linux Fedora is gonna come up with that. And notice it is really nice, clean. At this time, I have not created the account because I have to go to the startup. And then once I click on the startup, I just do all these privacy location is fine. third-party repository, enable the third-party software repository. That's important. If you're just installing anything from a third party, make sure that that is enabled, or you just do it through DNF repo commands, repos, and then dash dash enable. So I'm gonna skip this, and then here I'm gonna just give an account of Wahid, and then the username is Wahid is fine. And then enterprise login is if I want to do an enterprise login, and then I type in the password. The password has to be strong and it has to be safe. I mean, uppercase, lowercase, combination, and special characters, and then you're done, all the way done. So now I have created the account, and I'm just I say, don't go to the tour. Take tour, no thanks. You can go to the tour if you want to. Now the software installed here, I can go to the etc release and then just look at my release file, Fedora dash release, and it says that, sorry, let me just move this one a little bit down. I couldn't see because the Zoom was holding it on top of it, Fedora dash release. And now you can see that uname dash A, uname dash R, and it's everything is 6.5 built, and then so on. So again, GCC is not installed by default. You can see here, G++ is not installed there, but it's gonna tell you that you wanna install it. So I don't wanna go through that one again. Python dash V is showing you that Python is running by default. So top command is there, and then other packages we could just look at it later. And now we have that one. I can just say, go ahead, power it off. And make sure when you're running DNF installation, you're on the network, and make sure that. So at this time, I just powered it off, and then my memory is going to be back reclaimed right away. It is 19.6 gig. And then the other VM that I'm running here, I could just say show, and this one is all still running. And then one last thing, I'm going to bring it up, this one again. This time I will log in as Wahid, because I told you that I just created the account with the startup setup. So once you set up your account, then you should be able to get into the system and boot it off and get the machine running with the account that you have created. So I click on the user and then type in the password. There you go. So list of software that are there. If I just open the terminal, I type in ID. It is there, ID-UN, everything. So thanks for watching. Please make sure you subscribe. Excuse me. Okay. And then we're going to just end the video here with a good sneeze. God bless you all. Take care. And we say in Farsi, Sabar Khudaya. Sabar Khudaya means patient, patient God. I'm asking for mercy and patience. Take care. Bye. Have a good one.